Over 100 days ago, I was a gamer, but I suck, so I got tired of it. And then I watched PewDiePie's 100 Day of Drawing video and was inspired. I thought, hey, maybe I'll try drawing too. And so I began my art journey. After drawing nearly every day for 100 days and streaming them all, I finally reached the day 100 milestone. So how did it go? Did I manage to improve after 100 days? While I spend most days on studies, I aim to make one artwork per week. So I'm gonna review and rate those artworks. And who knows, maybe you can take something away for your own art journey. See if the 100-day challenge is really worth taking. And with that being said, this is my day 1. I tried to do a copy drawing. As you can see, I'm not like a complete beginner, but I never really took up art seriously and I haven't really done much drawing myself. And keep in mind that I'm trying to copy draw here. I'm drawing with like a clear reference on the left. I even did a little bit of tracing to break down the structure. So you can imagine how bad it would be if I tried to draw from imagination. But you know, everybody's gotta start somewhere and this is my starting line. Oh, good lord. Oh, lordy. I don't know what I was thinking when I was drawing this, but whenever I look at this one, I get a mixed feeling of nostalgia and pain. Intense pain, agony, because it's so bad. I wanted it to be intimidating or scary, but the only terrifying thing here honestly is my drawing skills. But it reminds me of one of the reasons why I took up this drawing and why I drew this character. This is the same character, by the way, as the day 1. It's because I wanted to draw memes. I wanted to draw memes. I still don't like it. No matter how I try to spin it, I don't like it. 1 out of 10. Shame. Now this one. Day 14. This one is actually very important to me. But why? Objectively, like, it's not that good. Like you can see here, like this shadow is way too far down. It's making the hair like looks like it's not even attached to the head. Like it's gonna fly away. Why? Well, because this piece was a big motivator for me. This piece is when I kind of began to believe that, you know, I can do this. I can learn how to draw and I'll be able to make all of my waifus real. And that is why I really like this piece, despite all of its imperfections. And this piece will always have a special place in my heart. 10 out of 10. My precious. Day 23. Queen ERB. This is around the time when Holo Justice debuted, I think. I tried to include a little bit more anatomy. I wanted to be able to draw everything, so I kinda slowly inched away from drawing only the face. In my mind, this looked worse, but now that I look at it, it's not like it's that terrible, honestly. It's not that bad. If there's one critique, is that honestly, it just doesn't feel that special. It's neither good or bad, but it doesn't really have any charm to it because I was just drawing the character as is, kind of like sharing an idea or I have something to say about this, and I feel like that's not good. Obviously, I think the anatomy could be better. Feels a little bit stiff. The neck too. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. For day 23, not so bad, but nothing special. That is why maybe 5 out of 10. It's just okay. It's just there. Day 30. I know it says 29 here, but this is the day 30. You might not believe it, but I tried really hard on this one. I spent so much time on this one actually. And damn it, it sucks. There's like a stiffness to it that I really don't like. It's because it was the day 30 piece. I made a video on 30 days of drawing and I wanted the day 30 piece to be really good. So I put this like a lot of expectation to it. I really wanted to make it good. I kind of forced it, and all I remember from while drawing this was frustration because nothing really felt quite right. And then guess what? At the end of the painting, I decided to add this lighting effects because I thought that the lighting effects would save the painting. After I did all that, you can't really see most of the quote-unquote details. I spent so much time making this shading and like all of the folds and stuff, and you can't really see it in the end. Well, you know what? At least I appreciate my past self for trying these things that are way outside of my comfort zone. But overall, I would rate this about 3 out of 10. Regret. Day 37. I like drawing mechs too, and this is why I wanted to draw a little bit of mech. This is, I think, the first time I drew like a full body illustration. Guess how much time I spent on these. Before I zoomed in, I bet you also didn't really notice these details, because at the end of the day, who cares about these details? Like, no one cares how much time you spent drawing this or how sweaty you get when you draw. Everyone's gonna look at this for like 2 seconds and is like, moving on, scroll along. What a painful lesson that was. Who cares out of 10? And day 44. This is around the time that Changli from Wuthering Waves was released too. That is why I'm drawing her. And after 3 weeks of not really liking my pieces, finally I made something that I like. I actually like this one. And this is, I think, the first time I actually drew the skin like properly. The only problem was I did spend too much time drawing this. It was way too long. It was very slow and painful because of my inexperience and indecisiveness, and also probably because I lacked the confidence. Basically, it's just skill issue. But I'm glad overall that I feel like it turns out alright. 7 out of 10. Maybe 8? 7. A51. This is the week where I studied a lot of poses and also clothes, fashion. I thought this one was pretty cool. Reminds me a bit of Powerpuff Girls or like Totally Spies or like Wings Club. Yeah, I watched them only because my sisters watched them too though. This time I tried the bold colors and shading style. Almost kind of like Persona, I guess. I like it. I like this one. It's not the style that I want to pursue long term, but for an experimentation, I like this one. Panty and stocking out of the wardrobe. Day 58. You know what? Actually, take these days with a grain of salt because I might be like late one day or like early one day because the naming is when I create the file and then I upload it the next day or something like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? With this one, I wanted to make a cute illustration, but there was a big lack of planning. I wasn't really sure the style that I'm going for here. I guess kind of like half chibi-ish style. For the eyes, I tried to study a little bit of Mai Yoneyama to make the eyelashes like kind of 3D in a way. The hair render, I really like it, but I might have made it a little bit too complex. There's too much things going on and everything just doesn't seem like it meshes together. It's like the painting is not one, and I'm not really sure like why that is or how to fix it, even today. So I don't really know. And I wish I had made the hands bigger, honestly. So for this one, I would rate this 6 out of 10. Decent, but I didn't put any charm into it. Day 65. This is Airani U15 from Hololive Indonesia. I remember this week is when I started to study values and the painterly style, which I'll show you guys here. I did a little bit of study of John Singer Sargent's painting, this one too, and then it got me into the mood of like drawing party dresses. So in a way, this is also kind of my first fashion design. Honestly, it's not so bad, but the image that I had in my head is so much better. I wasn't really sure on how to render these different materials and textures, and in hindsight she also looks like she's a little bit off balance. It's a little bit weird, but hey, at least full body anatomy wise, it's an improvement from the previous ones. I'll give this one 7 out of 10. And 1 week later, day 73, this is my art. Yes, you're seeing it right. I didn't draw anything. I got burned out and I felt like I lost my motivation and nothing I drew really excited me. And so this week, rather than just burning myself out completely, I decided to not do anything. Why? Well, in the past, I've dropped several hobbies because I forced myself to commit. I had the idea that discipline means never failing to commit. But whenever life gets in the way and I fail to commit even once, it really got into me mentally. It really destroyed that self-belief that I can do it, and it brought me down into this negative spiral that usually ends up in me quitting that hobby. At least that's for me. So at some point in my life, I let go of that mentality. And as it turns out, I love art. I love drawing. I love this more than I thought I would. I want this to be a lifelong journey. And for me, it is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm not really in a rush to get better. And so that's why, rather than just burning myself out, I'll just take it easy every now and then. 10 out of 10. Very relaxing. You can't see it, but this is day 78. Festia Zeta from Hololive Indonesia. After that week of rest, I did like a week of balling, just sketching whatever, and then I sketched this, and as I kept going, I liked it so much that then I also decided to make it kind of like a study of Mika Picasso. I really enjoyed the process of drawing this entirely, everything except maybe the glasses, just a little bit. The glasses is a little bit wonky. So as you can see, well, it's not that solid overall. Like I said, the glass is wonky. The ear is like, it's too far up, or maybe this gel is not like shaped properly. Overall, there's a punch to it. And I learned some tricks from learning Mika Picasso. If I liked day 14 because it made me realize I love art and I can do it, this one kind of revived that love for art. I want to try this style again someday. So yeah, for 2 weeks in a row, 10 out of 10. Very enjoyable experience. Day 78. This is Nien, a character from the tower attack game Arknights. I followed a post reference for this one pretty closely. I forgot to mention that for a few of my previous pieces, I followed like a post reference, like a photo of someone. I think this is the first time I actually attempted full body plus perspective. I spent like either 6 to 8 hours drawing before deleting everything and starting over because it just didn't look right. That was so that was agonizing, but it really was no one's fault than mine. And then I also tried going for a different coloring method, but if you see, it's kind of the same with a few of my previous pieces. And that's when I realized that maybe this is my style. It's a bunch of subconscious decisions that I make while I'm painting this, making my painting look a certain way. And honestly, for me, it wasn't really ideal. I didn't really want to fall into an art style yet. I wanted to draw a full background for this one. I wanted to draw like she was in a kitchen or anything, but I already spent too much time drawing this. I almost put her in another like white void until I was cooking together with chat and she somehow ended up outside. So I have no idea why this dragon is like eating noodles in the wilds. 7 out of 10. Painful, but I liked it. Okay, day 91 and 92. I have Hosho Marin from Hololive Japan, 3rd generation, and Laplace Darkness from Hololive Japan, 6th generation, which is, by the way, she's also my Kami Oshi, yes, my dark. In this one, it's a kind of a continuation from the previous week where I studied Dino. This is his tag on Twitter. I did a study, my own version of it over here. And then I tried to create my own of Fern here. Cute, very cute. While technically it's not my weekly art, I really like this one. 10 out of 10. Cute Fern. Okay, but back to the weekly piece. This one I really like. It looks fine at a glance, but there are a few shortcomings. This one as well. But I'll just tell you what I like. I like the hair here and the face. I just like the hair for this one. The face is a little bit I don't know. I felt like I was forcing it a little bit. A little bit too anime. While yes, I like anime, I wanted things to be a little bit realistic. So what the heck is wrong with this ear now that I know this? Never mind. I don't like that ear. Second thing that I really like was that I also did this pretty fast, if I remember correctly, both of this. So process-wise, it was enjoyable and fast. But again, it's not perfect. Overall, both of these, 8 out of 10. Enjoyable, not perfect, but good enough. And finally, day 100. This is 37. The same character that you saw on day 1 and day 7. I was studying ASK and 2-6, which I'll show you. I'll link all of the socials in the description box below. This is 2-6. I studied his kind of style. This is by him. This is by me. And also ASK. That's one. The left one is by ASK. The right one is by me. And I wanted to kind of emulate ASK's style and feel. That kind of soft feeling to the entire painting. Everything is a little bit very desaturated actually, so I kind of wanted to emulate that. I'm a little bit mixed about this one. Looking at this right now, it's okay actually. It has that soft feeling. The colors are pretty nice. The face, I like the face too actually. I like this render, okay, kind of render of the whatever this thing is. What is this called anyway? But I remember I couldn't really find the perfect pose or inspiration, and a few things I don't like. The hair is kind of like a jumbled mess. I kind of wanted to make it a very, you see how Ask is like messy, but there's a nice flow to it. This is just messy. There's not really a nice flow to it. The pose is a little bit stiff, and then the background is much flatter than I wanted. This is actually inspired by another one of Ask's painting, which I will edit in, the expectation, and this is the reality. Remember what I said for day 30 about expectations? Well, it happened again. I had too much expectation for this being the day 100 piece because I really wanted it to be good. I tried so hard for this one, but it just fell short. But no, not that bad. Not that bad, honestly. There's progress. I would say there's progress. You know what? 7, maybe 8, 7 out of 5, 7.5. Good. But I wish it was better. Especially the hair. I regret everything about the hair. I wish I just simplified it way more. Here's an extra one. Day 106. I really like this one. I think this one turned out really well. I don't know, what do you think? This is exactly the same thing that happened in day 78. Remember that Zera artwork? After that week of burnout, and then I sketched without expectations, and it turned out to be something that I really liked in the end. it's the same thing. I felt very free and I had no expectation towards this art, and it's not very concrete, but I think it really does affect your mind. And I don't know how it is for most people, but at least for me, now that it has happened 3 times, I think this is the key to maintaining a long-term relationship with art. There were times when I was in a slum, and then right after that I would have these moments where I felt free. I was just doing art. I was just doing what I love to do. And somehow, it usually ends up in me making art that I really like. Again, I understand it is quite subjective, but at least for me personally, I love this art. But if I were to critique my own art, there's a lot that is missing. I would say that if you look really closely, it is not very clean. The line art is actually very messy, and some flowers are not very accurate flowers. I would say that better artists would be able to make these flowers into simpler shapes that still look nice and complements the painting. And everything else is so simple. The shading and background is very simple, and I'm not sure it's simple in a good way. And many more. I can keep going, right? I can keep going about all of these weaknesses, but overall, I still like it. Overall, I think there's some kind of charm to it. 10 out of 10. Boosted my love for art. And that was my 100-day-ish art journey. So far, it's been really fun and fulfilling, and I really love doing art. And what do you think? Did I manage to improve? If you like this video, consider subscribing because I will do more art contents, but honestly, it probably won't be very educational because skill issue, and I stream my art journey every day, if it's still going. So come over to Hang and Chill. I'll see you there.